A lot of young men today feel lost. You look around at modern society and it's pretty disheartening, especially here in the West, especially here in America. You see these civilizations that have been built up by incredible people who achieved incredible things literally crumbling, and the men who live in these civilizations, these young men who are supposed to be defending them, are just apathetic towards it at best. A lot of them are just lazy. They're playing video games all day, smoking weed, eating garbage food, and they just don't really feel like there is much purpose in their life. They don't feel like they're doing anything that's really important, and they're yearning for that, even if they don't realize it. And so I wanted to make this video for those men who are basically like me, who are in a similar position to where I was like 4 or 5 years ago, to give you a clear blueprint or an understanding of how you can get out of that, how you can get yourself into a better mental state and focus on things that really matter to you. This video is sponsored by our good friends at North Star Grounding. North Star is a fantastic company, and if you don't know about grounding, what they do is they make products like blankets, pillowcases, sheets, stuff like that, that literally connect you to the ground outside while you are sleeping so that you can feel more awake and more energized. And I can tell you from personal experience that these products work amazingly. Firstly, the practice of grounding yourself by physically connecting yourself to the earth is ancient. Human beings have been walking around outside barefoot in the grass for centuries. This is something that I personally do every morning when it's warmer out, you know, like in the summertime or the spring. I'll go out and I'll just walk around in the grass while I have my morning coffee. What these products do is give you a year-round opportunity to do the same thing. I personally use their grounding pillowcase, and I've been using it for about 2 weeks now, and I can tell you that every single morning I wake up with amazing energy. I jump right out of bed, no grogginess, no tiredness, no real need for coffee anymore. I just get up and I start doing things. I really genuinely could not stand by these products enough. They are amazing. If you want to try out your own grounding pillowcase, blankets, sheets, anything like that, just go to northstargrounding.com and use code ZB15 at checkout for 15% off your order. And the first thing, and frankly the easiest thing that you can do, is start working out. Whether it's training for a specific sport, just lifting weights, something like that, some sort of real physical activity, that's going to help you a lot. But especially if you are training in a martial art, I highly recommend martial arts, because not only will you get that physical strength, you'll get physical health from it, you'll get that energy from it, but you will also get this greater understanding of the world through fighting, through martial arts, because you get to understand violence. And frankly, violence is the underpinning of everything in society. Nothing exists without violence backing it up. The more that you learn about it, the more you understand combat, the more you understand martial arts, you'll have a much better energy as a man. And frankly, there's nothing more confidence boosting as a man than walking into a room and knowing that you could probably beat up anyone in it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you would or will, because that's the exact opposite of what martial arts is all about. Just having that understanding and that security in your own abilities and your own physicality, that super massively will help you. And that also leads into the next thing that I highly recommend, which is you need to fix your nutrition. You got to stop eating junk food. You got to stop doing, drugs, drinking too much, all that garbage. You need to focus on your health more. So make sure that you're eating good, natural food, close in approximation to organic food as you can. Make sure that you're eating plenty of protein, plenty of meat. Meat is very good, and it will give you more energy. It'll give you more power. Frankly, eat more eggs, because eggs have a ton of protein. They have a ton of good stuff in them, and there is a certain power to that a lot of people misunderstand. And that also kind of leads into hydration. You got to make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because most people are massively dehydrated. So make sure you're drinking more water, make sure you're eating healthy foods, and make sure that you're training in a sport, especially a martial art. And now, sort of moving out of the physical aspects of it, another thing that's super important is to have a goal, have a real ambition, have a focus. For me, that's my business, that's social media, that's content creation, that's filmmaking, that is client acquisition, that's all of what I'm doing, right? So the majority of my time is spent either training or working on that business, whether it's reaching out to clients, whether it's talking to clients, going to do shoots for clients, filming my own content for social media, whatever it it is, it's usually focused on that, because having a real ambition, having a focus as a man is super, super important. You'll wake up every morning with an actual reason. There's a goal, there's something to accomplish. This is why men used to go to war. This is why men used to build enormous structures into the sky. This is why we went to the moon, because ambitious men just decided to do it. They woke up one day and said, you know what, let's go to space. And then they did it. And that is a super important aspect of not only your own life, but also of improving society as a whole. That's just really, really critical. Something else that's super, super important as you're going on this journey is you want to find a wife. That is someone who is not just somebody you're dating, not just somebody you enjoy spending time with. That's important, but it's also somebody who shares your vision, who believes in your vision, and who shares in your worldview, your values, right? You can't raise children with someone that you disagree with fundamentally on important things, right? And with that comes starting a family, having children, raising those children to believe in your worldview, to achieve things, to try to accomplish things, raising them to be good, solid people. There is genuinely nothing more fulfilling in life than having children. I can attest to this endlessly. There is very few things in my life that even come close to as important to me or as amazing to me as my daughter. She is an amazing part of my every single day life. And by far the most important thing, the biggest aspect to all of this is God. You need to be praying. You need to be going to church. You need to be reading your Bible. These are super, super important. Everything in life comes to God. Everything goes back to Him. And when you're doing all of this stuff that I've already mentioned, and you're doing it for the purpose of glorifying God, honoring Him, honoring what He's given to you, that will give you so much power, and it will make every single thing that you do so much more meaningful. Frankly, without God, none of that stuff really matters, does it? Who cares if you have some sort of ambition? Who cares if you're eating good food when it doesn't really matter anyway? So you've got to make sure that you are being healthy, right? You're training in a martial art or training in some kind of sport. You have a real ambition. You're looking for a wife. You're trying to start a family, and you are always following and seeking God. All of those things will make your life so much better. It will give you so much more drive, so much more purpose, and I promise you will never regret a single one of them. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and yeah, don't forget to check out our friends at North Star Grounding. Super awesome company. I really, really love them. This is really, really important stuff. I think it's super critical for young men to achieve something or try to really improve themselves and improve their life, because you know the denigration that we're seeing in society really comes from a weakness and an apathy of young men. If those young men just like really focus and try to become better people, try to achieve more, try to really accomplish something, then I think that we have a really good chance of fixing a lot of what's wrong in society right now. So be sure to share this video with somebody who you think it would help, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.